Good morning, folks. 8 a.m. on the East Coast. I always love to get to say that. I'm your host, BKP. Let me give you our number. We're North Georgia's, good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. I think I'm going to make some guarantees this morning, okay? You will say, well, this person's going to say this at 12. This person's going to say this at 2. You're not 100% on your own with your opinion here this morning, but I am guaranteeing you that if you tune in this morning and you call a friend, phone a friend, okay, and tell them to go to fyntv.com, I'm guaranteeing between 8 and 10 o'clock, I will give you a different take. I will tell you some different things than the media is going to tell you this morning or maybe any other show today on what happened last night in the shellacking, drubbing, ass-kicking. I don't know. Let's not go there. But all the Georgia elections last night, I guarantee we're going to give you a different perspective than most. Okay, that's number one. We're the only online news show. It's my opinion, okay? It's my opinion. 706-889-9700. Text me, tell me, hey, I don't like your opinion. Whatever, I don't care. That's what it's there for. If you agree, say you agree. If you disagree, tell me why. If you would like to be on the show to give me your version of why you think the election results the election turned out the way it did last night in Georgia, 706-889-9700. Text us. Our producer will get in touch with you, maybe get you on the show, or just send me a text on what you think. Chief@FetcherNews.com. Follow us on Twitter @FetcherNews, @FYNTV, Instagram, and Facebook. So moving right along, let me give you we're going to get into, let's go to this immediately. It's like Kemp won. Put up the county map or the state map, okay? The yellow is Brian Kemp. We'll get into some further details as the show goes on because I want to break some things down. Now, the state map. It's the one that says state map, not bar. The one that looks like a map of the state of Georgia. Thank you very much, okay? So, that right there, the yellow is Brian Kemp. God, if looks could kill, you know that phrase, right? The yellow is Brian Kemp. The two red dots are Casey Cagle's counties, which would be Monroe and Stevens County. That's it. 157 counties out of 159. We're going to break that down. 605 votes between the two counties. Monroe County, 78 votes. And Monroe County goes to Kemp, would be 158. Stevens County, 527 vote difference. Cagle won by 527 there. I don't know where the water supply is in Stevens County. I don't care. But a total of 605 votes. Now take that out of 585,515 votes cast last night. Now another thing you need to do when you're doing your research later today, go see between Stacey Evans and Stacey Abrams on the Democrat side, we'll talk about that, how many Democrat primary votes were cast. Last night in a runoff, 585,515 votes cast. Okay? And out of that, only 605 votes is the difference of what would make those last two counties yellow there on that map and be totally for Brian Kemp. So there you go. That's number one. Okay, so we're going to break that down. Okay? I'm going to give you my reasons for things. Do you think the Donald Trump, I mean, it's basically 70-30, right? It basically turned out to be a 70-30 race. 69.4. So 69.4 to 30.6. No one, I'm going to tell you, no one pulled the 70-30 lever yesterday. I said double digit. I said he would get a double-digit win. Brian Kemp would. But there's so many variables, and I didn't want to mess with the variables in a runoff. Would people come and vote? Would the fact that Donald Trump said, get in your truck, load up your chainsaw and your shotgun, and get your wife and get on down there and vote, would that up the voters? So much was revealed last night in Georgia for a national effect, all right? Let me tell you something. There's people like Claire McCaskill. We will get to that in a minute. There's people like Joe Donnelly. Why did the president endorse in a Georgia, a red state that they think is going to turn purple or blue? If he could do that here, what could he do in Missouri, in Indiana? We'll go into that in a minute. But 69, I did say double digit. I did say that, okay? Hell, nobody pulled the 70-30. We'll break down why it was 70-30 last night. All right, I want to go to this race very quick, get it out of the way. Hate to put it like that. I told you yesterday, and I maintain. See, I have gone over, here's funny. Here's what's funny. This is laughable. What I did last night, I know I should have went to bed, right? Well, I didn't. I said, let me see how fast state politicians, okay, remember this announcement? And we're going to talk about this. Cagle announces 500 endorsements. 500. Cagle announces 500 endorsements. Casey Cagle, the leading conservative Republican for governor, today announced endorsements from over 500 elected officials. The list includes a former U.S. senator, former U.S. representatives, as well as hundreds of elected officials on the state and local levels. 500. Remember that? What happened? 500. Now, I went last night and I started going through state senator Facebook pages, elected official Facebook pages. I don't want to mention no names. Sheriff, okay, because I respect all these people. I'm not upset. They picked a candidate. Now, let's be clear. That's okay. I'm not saying they were wrong for picking, but I say, and they're deleting posts. Yeah, they're deleting posts. Go check. Maybe yours has not, or ones that you have not been following or you were following. Maybe they didn't. But go take a little time today, mess around there, and check to see if any of your senators, representatives, any of your local elected officials' Facebook page, they might have deleted a couple posts. Go see. Just to have fun. Yeah, they're deleting the post as we speak, right? Now, let's put up David Schaefer. Oh, wait a minute. If I said this yesterday, the reason I said that is today the Republicans will all, tomorrow night, Thursday night, John Watson, the chair of the Georgia Republican Party, has a kumbaya meeting assembled for downtown Atlanta at the Hilton, okay? Immediately, they want to get down there. They want to get all the Republicans on the stage. They're going to have a real love fest. I mean, they're going to be wearing tie-dye. That's my joke, okay? But anyhow, tomorrow night, the GOP, John Watson, the GOP, will be having a real kumbaya moment down in Atlanta to bring all Republicans together, okay? So, yesterday I told you, why did David Schaefer lose? Now, some of these for lieutenant governor. David Schaefer won like 48.9, 49% in the primary. I think there was, 3 candidates? This guy was a fraction from being the Republican nominee. I think it was 4 candidates, maybe not. Rick Jeffers, is that his name? Jeffries? Or what is his name? State senator. And then Jeff Duncan, and then him, I think. But this guy was a fraction in the May primary, 22nd or 24th, whatever it was. May 22nd, this guy was a fraction, David Schaefer, from winning outright. No runoff, just that close. A whisker Okay, now the guy, and I'm doing this, I didn't even write this down. Now the guy that wins last night, we'll get to him, actually only got like 23%, just like a Brian Kemp kind of deal, you know? Okay, he got 23% or 24 or whatever. He came in second, all right? This guy should have won. What happened? Why did David Schaefer lose and is not the Republican nominee for lieutenant governor today in Georgia? Okay, I think there's 1,200 votes separate them, 1,800 votes or whatever. They'll probably recount, but the only thing in Georgia, the way the voting machines are in Georgia, is a recount only regurgitates, sorry to put it that way, the results that were already there in the first place. That's all it does, is you can hit print, and whatever was in the machine in the first place is what comes out the second time. So the recount in Georgia really does not produce more votes one way or another for candidates usually, okay? So they'll probably recount this thing. But a whisker, like it's 0.5%, like 0.5%, 0.4% or whatever, this guy lost. Why did this guy lose to Jeff Duncan? The smear campaign Jeff Duncan did? Now, he's going to say he didn't do it as a political action committee, but we have a political action committee in Georgia that's sunk about $3 million just to be nasty, mean, and ugly to this guy here. That's it, for no other reason. They sunk $3 million. You don't know who they are. You don't know what their agenda is. You don't know what they want to do at the Capitol. You don't know what the political action committees that put the $3 million behind Jeff Duncan. You don't know if they're pro-life, pro-choice. You don't know if they're pro-second. You don't know anything about them. All you know is they spent $3 million telling you that this guy is no good. And right now you have a Republican candidate for lieutenant governor that you truly do not know what kind of legislation and what kind of Senate you will have if elected. Truly, you just don't. 3 reasons why this guy lost. Some might sound redundant. Number 1, reason he lost. He looked, he never said it, but he looked tied to Casey Cagle. Looked it. Okay, that's number 1. He looked like in the election that if you like Casey Cagle, you like David Schaefer, and he had a hard time separating himself from Cagle. So he has a Cagle drag on him, all right? Now, I'm going to tell you where his 2,000 votes are. I'm going to tell you the one thing that stopped this man from being the Republican nominee for lieutenant governor. One thing. Now, the other thing that's redundant, he looked tied to Casey Cagle. And second, I was in fear yesterday that the people that pulled the lever, I still call it pulling the lever because I'm old, okay, but the people that pulled the lever for Brian Kemp pulled the lever for Jeff Duncan. That's my concern yesterday, is he looked tied to Casey Cagle throughout the campaign, and people that pulled the lever for Kemp just went ahead and pulled the lever for Jeff Duncan because, you know, they heard this is a bad guy. Boom. Done. Now, here is his 2,000 votes. Here is the difference. I think I have it here. I hope I do. Let's see. There's governor. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. I am going to give it to you. Lieutenant governor, okay? Jeff Duncan got 279,000. Put Jeff Duncan, the winner, up there. Jeff Duncan is the winner, the Republican nominee. He will be the Republican nominee on the ticket for November for lieutenant governor. Jeff Duncan got 279,226 votes, 50.2%. Okay? David Schaefer got 277,496, 49.8%. You ready? It's this simple. Mr. Schaefer, if you're looking for your votes to put you in the winner's column, it's called your Nathan Deal endorsement. Your Nathan Deal endorsement was negatively affected your campaign just enough for you to be shy about 2,200 or 1,800 or whatever the vote set is there is the difference. I'm telling you now, the media tells you, the AJC, the liberal media tells you, the highly popular. They keep telling you the highly popular governor of Georgia. And I've often said, where is that popularity? Where is that popularity? It is made up popularity. I've always told you on this show, Governor Deal is not as popular as the media wants you to believe he is. See, he is a media darling because A, he's a Democrat. Nathan Deal is a Democrat, period. Two, they want you to believe he's popular because he has stopped every single possible thing that would encourage, support, or defend religious freedom in the state of Georgia. Okay? He goes down to, he has handled all 8 years, and he has legislated through election years, which means we need to change to 2-year budgets, not 1-year budgets. Exactly. We'll talk about that one day. We need to go to 2-year budgets, not one, and we need to stop this election year positioning in our sessions down in Atlanta. Election year positioning, pass what you want because it's time to get elected, and then the next year do not handle the business of the state properly because it's not election year. Okay? Sensationalizing the vote is not to the best interest of the citizens of Georgia. But there you go. That's the 3 reasons David Schaefer lost. Nathan Deal, the governor's endorsement, okay? Because let me tell you something. Out of the 500,000 voters, Republican voters that went and voted yesterday, I think you should pick up from Casey Cagle and David Schaefer, both of those elections. Nathan Deal would probably have a hard time winning governor in Georgia, and you just don't want to believe that, okay? So there you go. David Schaefer, you lost to Jeff Duncan. Now, yesterday I told you I do not like Jeff Duncan, and I did not use did as yesterday because I'm not going to be like the state senators and the elected officials that are erasing posts now that were praising Casey Cagle, only conservative in there. They're erasing those left and right, and they are calling Brian Kemp. Brian Kemp's campaign is getting bombarded this morning with his new friends. Hey, obviously there's about 500 out there that would like to be his new friend, okay? That being said, I did not use the word did. I said yesterday, I do not like Jeff Duncan. Today, I do not like Jeff Duncan. I don't hate the man, but I do not like Jeff Duncan. Don't. I don't like, okay, I did not like that website that he says he's not affiliated with the PAC and gave them no direction. I did not like that website that said, hey, if you can find out anything nasty, ugly, and just want to say it about David Schaefer, put it here. That being said, that's why you lost, okay, period. He is the winner, Republican nominee. Now, I know you wanted me to lead with governor, but I want to back into that in a way because of the simple reason I wanted to get to Nathan Deal. Now go to Nathan Deal and Casey Cagle. Did I send you a picture of them? Because I don't remember. I stayed up till after midnight. And Amanda, I want to thank you, and I want to thank everybody within this office for putting up with me today in advance, okay? So here is Nathan Deal coming down at the Capitol for Casey Cagle. Let me tell you, if you have ever seen a candidate, if you've ever had an opportunity to see a candidate in a state to get, and I'm looking for words, and I think the only one I can come up with is not very pretty, nice, and Mama would probably slap me for it. But if anybody is looking for a candidate that ever has ever been crapped on as bad as that man right there, Casey Cagle, I can't remember it. I mean, that guy right there, that guy was done wrong. Now, before you yell, please don't yell. Okay, don't yell. But that guy got a kick in the teeth, a kick in the gut everywhere he turned. And it became very apparent last night, people did not want him. And I don't mean you, the voters. I'm talking a long list of people did not want that guy in office that were behind the scenes. I don't want to say pulling some strings, but prodding some people in a direction. Nathan Deal comes down and endorses this guy last Monday, right? Not last Monday, Monday week ago, whatever you say. Okay. And they're at the Capitol. And Nathan Deal brings the guy in, and they go to the podium, right? And he endorses Casey Cagle. And that's it. That is it. You see, Casey is coming off a Saturday rally in Hall County with the Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North. All right? Now, why did Deal wait till Monday? Why didn't he do... Did they say, well, here, we'll just go bang, bang, and it'll keep the ball rolling? I'm going to tell you right now, Nathan Deal does not want to be anywhere close to the NRA. He does not want to be anywhere close to the NRA. He does not want to be anywhere close to the President of the United States. He wants to be as close as he can to his Gainesville zip code and some of his old friend Democrats that he knows. But this guy comes down. Did Nathan Deal from Monday to election do one campaign rally for Casey Cagle? One? No. Did he do a fly around with Casey Cagle? No. Did he have his picture with Cagle on the stage? No. Did he introduce Cagle? I'm the governor, and I'll tell you what, we've created this many jobs, and this is the man that will keep Georgia moving forward? No. Did him wrong. Did the 500 people that endorsed Casey Cagle, what did they do? They sat on their hands. You look and think about your county. We're going to go to break. We're going to break this down, okay? You think about your county, all right? And the people that endorsed Casey Cagle, why they did not get out and pull those voters to the polls for Cagle. So here's what I want to do, and I don't have time to go through the list, but let's do this, Amanda, before we take a break. I'm gonna go through the whole state, but I want to make this because, first of all, I want to look in the camera. If you are a sheriff out there and you have endorsed Casey Cagle, no problem. Please, I'm not upset with you. I am not trying to, you got to be careful here, I am not trying to say anything negative, all right? But it's Casey Cagle's campaign that immediately came out and grabbed the 100th sheriff, okay, endorsement of the National Sheriff's Association or Georgia Sheriff's Association, and it was the Casey Cagle campaign that went to get county commissioners and mayor and so on and so forth to get those local counties. You got to understand, these county commissioners, the sheriff, the mayor, the Board of Education members, 500 of them across the state, they were supposed to go out in their county and say, hey, I'm a winner, he's a winner. If you voted for me, come vote for Casey. It didn't happen, but they were on the list. So let's look at, and we'll come back from break, let's look at Dawson County first, okay? Can you pull up Dawson County? I got there, and if you can't see it, I'll read it to you, okay? And we're going to give you an opportunity. I can't see it across because it's small. Dawson County, Georgia. Now, this is our viewing area. Okay. 67.16 went from Brian Kemp. Okay. Brian Kemp won 67% in Dawson County. Now, go see who in the elected official world endorsed Casey Cagle in Dawson County. Let's go to... hold on just a second. Let's go to Fannin County. Okay. Fannin County, 66% went for Brian Kemp. 66% went for Brian Kemp. Okay? Go look in Fannin County what commissioners or commissioner and what law enforcement supported Casey Cagle and is on the list of 500 up there in Fannin County. Okay? 66% in Fannin County. Let's go to Gilmer County. Gilmer County, Kemp won 74%. 74%. Now, the reason I want to bring this up is probably the most popular sheriff, and I'm serious, probably the most popular sheriff, a sheriff that is the incoming president of the Georgia Sheriff's Association. Yes, he's the incoming president of the Georgia Sheriff's Association, probably one of the most popular sheriffs in the state. You know him as the sheriff. Remember that Shaquille O'Neal put the picture of on Jimmy Kimmel that night with his hat on, the Georgia sheriff, with Shaquille O'Neal. And also, not last term he ran unopposed. The term before that, this sheriff in Gilmer County had 5 opponents not counting himself, I think, and still won 68% of the vote against 5 in the county. He endorsed Casey Cagle publicly. 74% of Gilmer County went for Brian Kemp. Let's go one more. Okay, let's go to, you got Lumpkin. Can you find Lumpkin? Is that, okay, Lumpkin County, all right? State Senator Steve Gooch. State Senator Steve Gooch endorsed Casey Cagle. State Senator Steve Gooch did. All right, I want to say this. State Senator Steve Gooch walked the walk and talked the talk as far as this campaign was concerned. Like it or not, the guy didn't back off 1 second right to the last day. He stood on the stage with Casey Cagle. He went everywhere. His home, Lumpkin County, 63%. Look at sheriff, okay? Look at sheriff, look at commissioners, and look at the state senator in that home district right there. Brian Kemp won 63% in Lumpkin County. Let's go to, Pickens County. Pickens County, look at the endorsements there. Commissioners, which Jerry Barnes, congratulations, Jerry Barnes won re-election for post 2, I think it is, commissioner down there. But look at Pickens County. Brian Kemp won 73% of the vote. Go see out of the 500 endorsements. Okay? Let's go to Towns County. Might be my last one. You got Towns County? Towns County. Brian Kemp won 64% of the vote in Towns County. Go look at the commissioner, sole commissioner there. All right? Go look and see who endorsed Casey Cagle in Towns County. Now, the point is, I don't know if I have any more. Yeah, let's go to Union. I'm sorry. I think Union should be my last one. No, I don't think it is. Union, then White. Let's look at Union County. Sole commissioner there. Look at all the endorsements that Union County had for Casey Cagle. Brian Kemp won 69%, 0.88, 70% of Union County. Brian Kemp, let's go to White County, and that should be my last one, and we're going to take a break. White County, Georgia. Brian Kemp won 66% of White County, Georgia. Look at sheriff commissioners there. See, the reason I'm bringing that up is the 500 endorsements, they were supposed to bring their counties in. They were supposed to go out if they won the election and people voted for them, and like them, they could go out and beg those people, hey, come vote for my guy. That was supposed to happen. Take a minute and look around your district. Take a minute and look around your county. Look who endorsed Casey Cagle. Why did Kemp win so strong everywhere? Why did these endorsements not matter at all? Why did these endorsements not work for Casey Cagle? Because I didn't see it. I didn't see a big effort that should have been put out by these people that endorsed on a list. Was it Donald Trump? Was it Clay Tippin's tape? I don't think so. I disagree. I think the margin of victory is one thing, but the win is another thing. Let's keep talking Georgia politics and what happened in the election last night as soon as we return. Tell me what you think. 706-889-9700. 706-889-9700 or chief@fetchernews.com. Here's the good news. You want the good news? Jason Spencer, the disgraced Republican representative over the District 108, 180, okay, that was showing his ass on Showtime and yelling just nasty stuff. Jason Spencer is resigning, I think, today. I understand that's a statement. I did hear that in passing this morning on some news cycle that was going on in the background of my house. But I do hear Jason Spencer is going to resign today. The good news to me is there's two things about that. Well, let's do it after the break. I'll tell you why we need to see Spencer resign and what will save the taxpayers of Georgia if he goes now. Take us a break.